Auckland Council spends a very large amount of public money every year. The public cannot easily find out who the council's major contractors are, what they are paid, or whether they deliver value. The El-Goima non-compliance pattern is not isolated incompetence. It is an institutional culture that treats information as a liability rather than a public good. Changing this requires structural intervention, automatic publication requirements that do not depend on individual officials' good faith. Procurement is where governance integrity is most consequential and least visible. A small percentage overcharge on a major infrastructure contract costs ratepayers millions. The mechanisms that enable overcharging, inadequate competition, conflict of interest in evaluation, post-employment revolving doors, are known and addressable. The absence of systematic Auditor-General oversight of CCO procurement is an accountability gap that persists by institutional inertia rather than design. In Auckland's 2022 local elections, turnout was approximately 35% overall, and some South and West Auckland wards recorded turnout below 20%. A resident of a high turnout ward, therefore, carries several times the political weight of a resident of a low turnout one. This is not a neutral outcome. The wards with the lowest turnout are systematically the wards with the greatest need for public investment. The council's spatial investment choices over 20 years, where parks are maintained, where footpaths are repaired, where transport is upgraded, have been shaped by this imbalance in political voice. Reforms that increase turnout without increasing accountability are insufficient. If Manger residents turned out in far greater numbers and still could not identify which body decided to defer their local road maintenance, the participation would not have produced power. The governance simplification agenda and the participatory engagement agenda are both necessary. The question is sequence. Auckland Council is responsible for the infrastructure, services, and planning decisions of a large city. It finances this responsibility primarily through a property tax, general rates, that grows more slowly than the economy, creates regressive distributional effects, and generates intense political resistance to necessary increases. The result is chronic underinvestment in the infrastructure Auckland needs, not because the money does not exist in the economy, but because the fiscal instrument does not capture it. The Three Waters debate was at its core about this trade-off. A national water entity could borrow more cheaply and invest at scale, but it was not accountable to the communities whose water it managed. The same tension runs through Auckland Council's CCO model. There is no optimal resolution, only a series of institutional design choices that trade one value against another. The treaty co-governance debate focuses primarily on mana whenua iwi and their relationship with the Crown over land and natural resources. This is important, but it does not address the governance needs of much of Auckland's Maori population, urban Maori, who are not primarily connected to their rohe, and whose relationship with governance is through general democratic channels that systematically underrepresent them. Any serious treaty partnership framework for Auckland must address both dimensions. The debate between treaty partnership and equal citizenship is not resolvable through evidence. It is a values dispute about the constitutional foundations of New Zealand governance. New Zealand has not chosen to resolve it legislatively. The result is ongoing political conflict that consumes governance bandwidth without producing clarity. Both camps present genuine arguments, neither can be dismissed as simply wrong.